performer of some kind, but that never happened for her. I mean, she was like in some shitty play in the village when she was like 20 in which she played a unicorn who was on food stamps. And she got a callback once for the Broadway production of Play It Again, Sam, for a role that Diane Keaton ended up getting. Sorry, Mom. I'm sure you would have been great, but I do feel confident that Diane Keaton was probably the right choice. Her only real claim to fame was that she once banged Shel Silverstein in the early 70s, long before she met my dad and started our family. In case you're not familiar, Shel Silverstein was a renowned children's author who was extremely swarthy and legendarily horny. Allegedly, The Giving Tree is about my mom's vagina, or so claims my drunk aunt, who told me about their little fling. But besides banging people like Shel, my mom had a normal life and a normal job. I have a theory that when I was born, she transferred all of her hopes and dreams of being on a stage to me. Classic, right? To be fair, I had the exquisite facial structure of an angel, the singing voice of a prepubescent Tony Bennett, and the overall look and vibe of a young Asian woman. Look at my child acting headshot in the PDF. I'm so Asian. Over the course of my childhood, my mom pushed me towards the performing arts. She didn't know any better. It was the 80s. It was back before toddlers and tiaras, when people finally realized that living vicariously through your children was a bad idea and would inevitably fuck them up. We lived in Brooklyn. At the age of 9, I got my first big break when I landed a real talent agent, named Steve, who only wore turtlenecks and smoked cigarettes in his 1988 Toyota Tercel with the windows closed. Steve would tell me things you don't think people actually say, like, "I'm gonna put your name in lights, kid. Make you a star." I started auditioning for commercials. Coke, Mountain Dew, Skip It, Jif, Pop-Tarts, Honey Nut Cheerios. You name it, I auditioned for it. I was pretty into the whole thing, mostly because my mom would pick me up early from school and drive me into Manhattan, and we'd go to McDonald's before each audition and I'd get a Happy Meal. What 9-year-old wouldn't like that? Once we got there, my mom would read the script with me and basically tell me exactly what to say and how to say it. Just say it like I'm saying it, Joshy. I did. I'm saying it like that. No, you didn't. Listen to me. Mommy, can we please have Pop-Tarts for breakfast again? You know it's my favorite. Even Dad wants the Pop-Tarts. See? I did my best to copy her. I honestly have no idea how kids understand what they're saying. Like, how did that kid in Jerry Maguire know how to be personable and charming when he was 5 or whatever? Or Anna Paquin winning a fucking Oscar for her heartbreaking portrayal of a mid-19th century frontier person in New Zealand. Like, really? I barely knew what my arms and legs were when I was that age. But after a while, I started to get in the swing of it. Soon enough, I started getting some callbacks, and after about 6 months, I actually landed my first real job. It was a national network commercial for Hershey's chocolate syrup. My parents both seemed so proud of me, like, too proud. Like, shocked even? But I was fucking stoked. I was going to get to drink chocolate milk all day, and the commercial called for me to wear rollerblades, which at the time were not even available in stores. I mean, kids knew about them, but nobody, and I mean nobody, not even rich kids whose parents were always in Hong Kong for work, had them yet. Plus, my agent told my mom that I was going to get to keep my new blades. My friends were going to be so jealous. Even at age 9, I was deeply concerned about being an early adopter. It always felt shitty to me to be late on some cool shit that other kids were already doing. I wore a fedora and women's jeans to school in 3rd grade because of Indiana Jones, which meant that I was basically dressed like Bruno Mars in 2015. I've always been ahead of the curve. Let's look at that PDF again. There's another photo I need you to see. It's of me as a young actor. Seriously, look at me. Are you looking? Stare at me. I could be wearing a turtleneck made of interracial dicks, and it wouldn't be nearly as gay as that shirt. Keep looking at it. Don't stop. Okay, now stop. That's too long. The day I shot that commercial, my whole outlook on the world changed. There were production assistants waiting on me hand and foot. There was an entire craft services table filled with every variety of junk food, and I was allowed to eat whatever I wanted. People were treating me as if I was better than everyone else, and I liked the way that it felt. I was easing into the role of huge dickhead seamlessly and alarmingly quickly. It was like I had been born an awful diva, and I just needed the tiniest chance to let it out, and the second that chance came, whoosh. The advertising agency even gave me and my mom 2 cases of Hershey's chocolate syrup to take home at the end of the shoot. I thought I was the most awesome fucking kid on the planet. No one could touch me. Now that I was a celeb, I expected everyone at my school to treat me like I was Tom Cruise. And you know what the saddest thing is? Once the commercial first aired a month or so later, they actually kind of did treat me differently. And not just the kids, but the teachers and the other parents. I must have been on screen in that commercial for literally 3 seconds. I rolled by, in the background,